Dun, 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 oh. Apparently, I didn't take my hair out of my necklace. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, everyone. We got some things to talk about. I need to turn my music down. We got some things to talk about. We got some shit to discuss. Look at this shit that I chopped off while I was psychotic. Oh, that just makes me laugh. That just makes me laugh, dude. Oh, it's so tiny. It's so tiny. Someone said that I kind of look like I have hime bangs, which is this thing that's going around Asia right now. That, like, I have half hime bangs. So I think for people who I don't feel comfortable telling I have schizoaffect to, I'm just going to tell them that I thought I could do hime bangs and I failed. That's what I'm going to tell them. Yeah. I'm not crazy. No, not at all. Max, thank you so much for that subscription for 27 months. Have I been streaming for 27 months? Jesus. It's a long time. Wow. This is the longest I've ever held a job. I just want everyone to know. This is the longest I've ever I think this is the longest I've ever done anything productive in my life, ever. Except singing. I did singing for quite a long time. Sage, thank you for the daily pillow. I fucking love you, and good job on that first. Ranger, thank you for the daily pillow. I fucking love you. Dallas, thank you for the daily pillow. I fucking love you. Nathan, thank you for the daily pillow. I fucking love you. You're up late. Raven, thank you for the daily pillow. I fucking love you. How is your bookstore going? I wanted to ask you. Lupine, thank you for the daily pillow. I fucking love you. How is your bookstore going? I know you're. Please tell me you're the one that's setting up a bookstore. I win. I got first. You did. Congratulations. You did get first. So yeah, we're gonna talk about some interesting stuff today. Sleep is for people with jobs. So true. So true. So we're gonna talk about interesting things today. The first thing that we're gonna talk about is my thank yous. And then we're gonna talk about the OGL, and then we're gonna talk about how the OGL affects me and my work. Wife's bookstore, but it's doing good. Cute little place she set up. I really want to go visit. Yeah, we're gonna talk about a bunch of really interesting, but how is everyone? I'm not gonna lie, I had a really bad day yesterday. Like, I went to sleep in tears, and I woke up today, and I felt a lot better. Woo! When people say I let them color my tattoos, some people need a shoulder to cry on. That's a good one. That's a good one, Metal. Metal, thank you so much for the sub. Oh, Metal, do you want to put the last tattoo? He has one more spot right here. You want to put the last tattoo? Tell me what you want, and I'll put it on him. Hello, Knuckles. Thank you so much for the daily pillow. I fucking appreciate it. What do you want me to tattoo on him, Metal? I'm going to be working it later this month as they go to Costa Rica for a week. Oh, exciting. Who's going to Costa Rica? You're not going to Costa Rica? That sucks. Welcome in, Knuckles. I fucking love you. Thank you so much for being here. I think I forgot to say that, so I fucking love you, just to let you know. Yeah, yesterday was kind of a shitty day. I'm not gonna lie. I was really surprised at how shitty it was. And then I stayed up late binging Vox Machina. Okay, The Legend of Vox Machina. Oh, is that the Is that the Amazon animated show? Okay. Yeah, I saw your bag. It's actually really nice. It's actually really nice. Your bag looks super sick. No, we're not having shitty days anymore, Sage. We're having good days now. Because everything's okay. It's all gonna be all right. So let me explain why I said, hey guys, can we not fucking talk about the OGL? So obviously there was some stuff in my book that fell under the OGL 1.0. And it was super fucking frustrating for me to watch the world blow up. So it wasn't just like, I can't do this with music. I thought I could and I can't. It wasn't just like watching, my world blow up. It was like watching everybody else. Okay, so like here's how it was in my perspective. That was really tough timing. Absolutely. So we had just gotten everything done. We had just, literally the day before all of that stuff starts going down, like all that stuff drops, we were quite literally, like, just finalized everything. And we had to hold an emergency meeting to figure out what the fuck we were going to do. Which is why I didn't stream one of the days. The Thursday that it all went down, that's why I didn't stream, is because we held a meeting. Being like, what do we do? So, basically what happened is everyone was talking about how they're getting rid of the system, they're getting rid of the OGL, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is a bunch of lies. Like, this is a bunch of baloney. Like, this is a bunch of malarkey, as some would say. And I really, truly didn't believe that they were going to get rid of the OGL. I thought that it was all talk, or maybe they would update the OGL to, you know, do NFTs. No. I now truly believe that they meant... I have an idea of a timeline of what happened, and I truly believe that they meant to submit that draft that they did, which is technically a draft in legal... Okay, everyone's fucking like, that wasn't a draft. In legal terms, it was a draft, because in legalese, all what a draft is something that hasn't been submitted. Even if it is completely done in all the right heading and all the right font and all the right, and has the signature at the bottom, if it hasn't been submitted as final work, it is considered a draft. So it technically is a draft because it's a legal document. And in legalese, it is a draft. So people need to get their head out of their asses and stop believing that it's not a draft. But I do believe that draft was... How about a sword? Okay, I'll do a sword. But I really, truly do believe that draft that we saw, that was like 9,000 words, and it was egregious, to be honest, like, just to be completely honest. That was truly, like, what they were intending on doing, and... The way that legalese, that contract got out is that they were sending it to people being like, hey, what do you think about this? And people were so outraged, so like not okay with what they were seeing, that they were now leaking it, like going against a NDA and leaking the context of the draft because it was just egregious. It was egregious. Like, and, you know, you could sit here, I did at one point sit here and say, I think that this is Wizard of the Coast highballing us so that we meet somewhere in the middle. I no longer believe that that's what actually happened. I believe that people from Hasbro, because of the way that some things have been worded, I think what happened is people from Hasbro took over some sections, like Hasbro legal took over Wizard of the Coast legal, and because of that takeover, it was from Hasbro that all this stuff was happening. It was not from Wizard of the Coast, because I have it on very good authority that people in Wizard of the Coast were stepping up and being like, you cannot do this, this is not okay, and they were being fired. So, you know what I mean? And so, I definitely do not blame Wizard of the Coast for this whatsoever. And I do believe that they now have control back. I believe Hasbro waved a flag and said, fine, you do it. Meh. So, I do believe that has happened now. But I truly believe that was not Wizard of the Coast's fault. I truly believe that was not the people that we know, like Mike Merles and all them, like, not those people. That wasn't what they wanted. They wanted something very different. I don't know if you noticed, but all of them were very radio silent during this entire time, and some of them were even liking pro open D&D stuff. Like, you know? Like, they were very precuriously liking stuff, and so I just truly, truly believe in my heart that Wizards of the Coast is not the problem, Hasbro is the problem. Because corporations are fucking evil, and they're always the problem. But maybe that's just the punk in me. The point is, I just want to go through everything that's been updated so far, because there's been a lot of updates. I don't know if you guys have seen the stuff from, what's his name, Ken? Kyle. I don't know if you've seen the stuff from Kyle. I don't know if you've seen the second thing from Kyle. I don't know if you've seen the actual paperwork, and I don't know if you've seen the Twitter thread of clarification that was offered. So it's always upper management and CEOs. They are scummy, evil people. But So yeah, I definitely do believe that it was upper management taking over and like phasing people out and being like, okay, now that we're in charge, you're gonna make us more money. And all of Wizards went, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. Like, this isn't gonna go the way you think it is. And they're like, no, it's fine. And so they tested the waters and they got their hand bit, and I truly believe that they backed off because of one sentence that Kyle very carefully chose to put in there. I think that this was not the doing of Wizards of the Coast. This was the doing of Hasbro. So let's go ahead and dive in to, and then after we dive into this and I dive into all of the information, I'm going to tell you what this means for Alex's Bombastic Oddity. I'm going to tell you what this means for moving forward with making my content, with making my D&D show, because a lot of shows have switched off of D&D now. They're going to Pathfinder, they're going to the Black Flag stuff, they're going to different things. So I would really like to have a conversation about, it's rarely middle and creative. Exactly. And like, let's be honest. I don't think there's a person who works at Hasbro who isn't a fucking nerd. Because everybody who wants to work at Hasbro and will take the lower pay too, everyone that works at fucking, what's it called, and is willing to take the lower pay to work there, it's because they love it. It's because they love the shit. I don't know if you guys saw the girl who is the mother of Phyrexian, like the like language Phyrexian. I don't know if you've fucking seen her, but she's so into it. So it's, yeah. Says that he's only been there 3 months and people saying if the new one goes badly, he's the scapegoat. I don't want to believe that yet. What? I thought he got promoted 3 months ago. But Kyle Brinks, I recognize that name. I recognize that name from interviews. So, like I recognize the name Kyle Brinks because I would read interviews in magazines about D&D and they would interview him. I know who he is. Like, I've seen... So, he may have just gotten to the position 3 months ago, but he's been at Wizards. He's been in D&D for a while. Dirty Rogue, thank you so much for the Daily Pillow. I fucking love you. I agree. Evil Hasbro, yes. Auntie Lisa was responsible for the wording of the first, yes. And if she went to court to testify, she could testify as to intent. Yes. Yeah. They really need to understand that the way, like Auntie Lisa needs to understand that the way that Wizards of the Coast is making them 50% of their profit and literally dragging their dead bodies, their dead ass bodies with them. The reason why that is happening is because she's left them the fuck alone and let it be organic. Let it be organic. Let it be organic. Just go away, Auntie Lisa. But yes, I absolutely agree with you, DJ. Anyways, so kitty cat transition. You can barely hear the music. Now it's too loud. Now it's still too loud. Great. I'm glad I'm not a public content creator. This has been so much pressure and worry. Oh yeah, no. So like, I literally I made a new Twitter. Like I made a new Twitter account. I logged off of Twitter. I did not touch my Twitter account. I would go on there, post something, and then leave just to be active, and then I would leave. I have not looked at Twitter. I have not looked at that Twitter account. I have not looked at all the rhetoric because there are people on Twitter who are literally mad just to be mad. They're hateful just to be hateful. And like people are like, where is this hate to Wizards of the Coast people? I saw it. I fucking saw it, and now I wish I had screenshotted it so I could go into those people who are like, who's actually ripping on Wizards of the Coast staff? I wish I had screenshot it so I could go to those people and be like, this is what we're talking about. And so it was so, and like as a person with schizoaffect, which basically just is a fancy way of saying I'm on the schizophrenia scale, my paranoia latched onto it so hard, and I like totally thought that my dream was dead. Like I was literally like crying at least every other day, thinking that my dream was fucking dead of being an author, like for real. And like people don't understand how horrible it was for them to fuel this rhetoric and fearmonger and be like, have like a picture of the D&D community on a gravestone with like fire all around it in their face, like, oh, and it's like the D&D community is dead. Click this video to learn more. And then there's a fucking ad on the video. That made me so mad. Oh, that made me so mad. How many people clickbaited this shit? And how many people are like coming up, like people are saying that they've edited and changed the documents. Hi, Void. People are saying that they've edited and changed the documents. They haven't. They haven't changed anything. They haven't touched it. Since Kyle got in charge, they haven't touched it. Void, thank you so much for the daily pill. I fucking appreciate it. I fucking love you. So, yeah. So, basically, it was a hellfire. And in the backs, and on the back end, for me making this book, it was hell. We all had to we were all sitting here like, what the fuck do we do? Like, we all have our thumbs up our asses. Like, I don't know what to do because I don't know when the new OGL is coming out. I don't know what the new OGL is going to be. I don't know if we're going to be grandfathered in. I don't know if we were thinking that my book was going to be able to sell for a period of time. The reason why we changed to a system agnostic system is because we thought that my book was going to be sold for a period of time, and then whenever they revoke 1.0, my book was no longer allowed to be sold. As in, they were revoking that page out of the book. And like that freaks me the fuck out to think that my book would be sold for 6 months and then there we go. Now I have to start all over again. Like it just sucked. The whole thing sucked. And so that's the reason why I was like, please don't talk about this in Twitch chat or not in Twitch chat. I said, please don't talk about it in the Discord. The reason why I said don't talk about it in the Discord wasn't because like I was mad at anyone. It was for my own safety because I was so anxious and I had so much fear and hopelessness attached to the OGL because I thought that my dreams were dying and there was nothing that I could do about it and there was no way that I could save it. And now there's a way that I can save it and I'm very, very happy about it. So now we can talk about the OGL again and, you know, shit on Hasbro. But I am going to ask people to refrain from shitting on Wizards of the Coast because people literally several people lost their job for speaking out about this. And they are very, very, very vehemently trying to find the person who ratted, which this is good rat, not bad rat, but the person who leaked the fact that they needed to cancel subscriptions. They're really trying to find that person. They have no idea who it is, but they're really trying to find them. Supposedly. And so now they've asked for everything. Lindsay, hello. They've asked for everything. So now people are putting everything through a generalizer AI to take away the ability to tell who's who and who's writing it. And so it's crazy. It's crazy what Hasbro is doing. And this is literally like a movie. Like, I swear to fuck, somebody needs to make a movie about a company coming into something that they bought 20 years ago that they fucking... I'm sorry. I hit my cat. But something that they bought 20 years ago and then threw to the side. And then they're like, oh shit, you're making money now? Gimme. And then like everybody in the fucking world revolting against this company. Fuck Hasbro. Because listen to me. One of the biggest things that I want to take away from this entire event is that you don't have to be a union to unionize. That's one of the things that I want to take away from this. This whole event, this whole thing, you don't have to have a union to have power and unionize. As long as we act as a collective, I know, he's over here. As long as we act as a collective, they can't do shit. 40,000 people canceled their subscriptions, which is apparently 10% of the subscriptions, which is a lot of subscriptions. I mean, think about it. $40,000 times 20, which was like the average price. It was insane. So you don't have to be a union and unionize, and unionizing works. You can't come in and try to make profit on something that's flourished because nobody tried to make profit from it. Exactly. Exactly. And if you want to monetize other things, like plushies, for example, you want to make a gelatinous cube plushie, I'm gonna buy that shit. Even if it's like $20, I'm gonna buy a gelatinous cube plushie. You want to make owl bears. You want to be in Build-A-Bear. You want to, like have little owl bears in Build-A-Bear. You want to have action figures. You want to have recognizable faces from movies. You want to have movies. You want to have TV shows. Absolutely. I think that is a great way to monetize yourself. I think it's just like a streamer offering merch, right? It's bonus. But the core needs to stay authentic. And if the core doesn't stay authentic, the whole thing falls apart. Now I want an owlbear plushie. I want a fucking gelatinous cube plushie. They made a gelatinous cube like action figure thing, and I'm like, no, make a fucking plushie that you can like Velcro shit to. I gotta get my snacks for this. Okay, get your snacks. Get your snacks. I'll wait a little bit. I'll stall. I'm still seeing the movie. I'm still seeing the movie as well. Unless they egregiously fuck this up again. Unless they egregiously decide, unless Hasbro's like, oh good, Kyle, you fixed everything, then I won't see the movie. Then I won't. But I plan on still seeing the movie, barring Hasbro gets their greedy little fingers out of our pies. That's the thing that I'm barring. I would buy a gelatinous cube plushie that had other plushies inside. Okay, that would be adorable. I don't know how you would like literally make that, but that would be adorable. Okay, but think about like a knitted plushie so you can kind of see into it through the holes, and then you can keep shit inside. A gelatinous cube knitted purse. Stop. We should charge them money. Yes, absolutely. Hasbro is a dead fucking company, and it literally loses money daily. The reason why it made profit last year was not all their other stuff, not Power Rangers, not Transformers, these giant fucking money-making... No. The reason why they made profit last year was motherfucking Hasbro's, because authenticity is what people are buying nowadays. Nobody wants your fake shit. No one wants that. We want authenticity, and that's what we need to have. Anyways. All right. So we are together going to read this statement. Now, this statement was the January 13th one. This is the one where they were like, we won. And the reason why we're reading this one is because, one, I want to make fun of them. Now that I'm not panicked, I want to make fun of them with you guys, because I actually can, and not cry. And two, I want to point out the language that they use here and the language that they use here. Literally, this was 5 days later. I want to point out the different in length. Cheese puffs? Oh, not going to cut it. I'm making scrambled egg. Okay, cool. You got headphones. I want to point out the differences in language, because it is very, for a person who has to read so carefully, the difference in how easy it is to read, the feel that I get when I read it, and the temperature of how emotional it is. Two different planets. And that's why I believe Hasbro was originally the one that was writing this stuff. A Hasbro legal assistant was the one writing this. A legal intern was the one fucking pulling the trigger, which is so fucked up, by the way, that you're gonna make a fucking assistant, a fucking intern pull the trigger. You're not gonna pull the trigger yourself, dude. You're too scared. Pussy. Anyways, so this is legalese. This is no emotion, nothing. So, when we initially conceived of revising the OGL, it was with three major goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Cool. I'm okay with that. Where are you seeing this? Are you talking about TSR? And the TSR shit that was happening? Is that where this is? Like, where are you getting this discriminatory products? Because you make discriminatory products. Like, Wait, like what? Like where are we going here? Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D and Web3 blockchain NFTs by making clear that the OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing game content, which includes campaigns, modules, and supplements. That's fair. That is a fair thing to ask. We have no idea where Web3 is going to go. We have no idea what's going to stick and what's not going to stick. I don't think NFTs are going to stick. And to be completely honest, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but as soon as a fucking company says, Square Enix just did this, as soon as a company says they're going to make NFTs, they lose followers, they lose people. People are like, what the fuck are you doing? You're an idiot. And like, nobody fucking likes it when companies make NFTs. The only people who like it when people make NFTs are people who follow these big creators who then get scammed because of the NFTs. So that nobody knows what's gonna stick. I don't blame you for not wanting somebody to make NFTs under your name whenever you could make NFTs, or sully your name by making NFTs. That totally fucking makes sense to me. I don't understand why you would say the open game license is campaigns, modules, and supplements. Because there's a lot of people who make shirts, there's a lot of people who make art, there's a lot of people who make print that use the SRD, and those people need to be covered too. And third, we want to ensure that the OGL, content creators, the homebrewers, the aspiring designers, our players in the communities, not major corporations, to use their own commercial and promotional purposes. I think that one is spurred from Stranger Things. Stranger Things used the OGL and the SRD in order to put D&D into it, probably without asking them. Because if they had asked them, there would have been promotional stuff during the time. There would have been promotional stuff earlier on, but there wasn't promotional stuff earlier on. The promotional stuff came later whenever D&D reached out to Netflix and was like, yo, you want to like collab or something? And I bet that Hasbro hated being the one having to ask somebody else and being the one in the smaller suit. You know, being the one that's the smaller person asking the bigger person. They probably really didn't like that. That probably really hurt their little ego. And so now they're saying that now they're restricting it. Okay. So that's what they want to do. Personally, when I read those three things, it's fine. That's fine. But you did not accomplish that. That's not what your goals were in the original document. That was not your goals in the original document at all, and that was not translated at all. Driving these goals were two simple principles. One, our job to be good stewards of the game. You failed. Two, the OGL existence for the benefit of fans. Nothing about those principles wavered for a second. Look at how 1 and 2 are put in parentheses. That's legal text. When you write 1s and 2s, you normally put, as people, as us, you put a period after that, or a dash. You don't put parentheses. The only way that you put parentheses, the only place that you put parentheses around it is in legal text. This was not written by a person. It was written by a legal representative. That is why, wait, sorry, you can't see that. That is why our earlier drafts of the new OGL include the provisions that they did. The draft language, again, that draft language, this is very legalese, was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized, which is why they're calling it a draft. Again, in legal terms, it was a draft because it was not published to the public. So, you know, illegal AI, possibly, DJ. It wouldn't surprise me with how they're trying to take budget cuts. People are talking, and I'm ignoring it because I'm reading. I will read your comments at the end. That was why our early drafting provisions that they did. The drafts contained language that was provided to content creators and publishers to have feedback to be considered before anything was finalized, in addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful content and clarifying what types of products the OGL covers. Our draft included royalty language. Again, why isn't it language about royalties? Clause about royalties. Royalty language, that's legalese. Designed to apply to large corporations attempting, you didn't apply it to large corporations, you applied it to like medium. Are eggs a luxury food? Hi, Seven, thank you so much for the daily pillow. I fucking love you, but you know that. It was never our intention to impact the vast majority of the community. Never your intention to impact the vast majority of the community. However, you fucking made clauses that impacted the vast majority of the, like, everyone that makes content. You made it to where everyone that makes content you could use. That is impacting the vast majority. However, it is clear from our reaction that we rolled our one. This is totally, the reason why this rolled a one feels like it's out of left field is because nothing else in this thing is written like a human. Nothing else. That is fake humanity. You know what I mean? That's like a robot looking at you and being like, well, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? And you're like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did that come? This is like whenever the AI says, help me, and you're like, what? You know what I'm seeing? See, AI lawyer. Yeah, no. So this was added. This is part of the reason why I do not believe that someone at Wizard of the Coast wrote this. That line stands out. If it was written by someone at Wizards, it wouldn't stand out. But if it's written by a legalese that then went past through PR and PR wanted to make it more humanizing, so they put this little roll the one thing in there, that makes sense for why it stands out so much. It has become clear that it is no longer possible to fully achieve all three goals while still staying true to our principles. So here's what we're doing. That line is so fucked. That entire line, it was written by PR because they are not taking blame. They are saying, well, it's clear we can't fucking do this the way we want to do it because you won't let us. That's not taking blame. Whereas later we see they take blame fully. The next OGL will contain provisions that allow us to protect and cultivate the inclusive environment we are trying to build, which again makes it really feel like we're not being inclusive. Inclusive environment that we're trying to build and specify that it covers only content for TTRPGs. That means other expressions such as educational, charitable campaigns, live streams, cosplay, VTT, etc. will remain unaffected by any OGL update. Content already released under 1.0 will also remain unaffected. There are no promises in there. There are no statements. This statement right here, they do not define what unaffected means, so you cannot use that in a court of law. So, you guys have already read this. This is the thing that I sit here and go, you cheeky little bastards, you don't think you did anything wrong, and you are not willing to admit defeat. And then they did admit defeat and stepped away. A couple of last thoughts. I feel like this was written by PR, written by, like, Lisa, and then went through PR. First, we won't be able to release the OGL today because we need to make sure we get it right. It is coming soon. Second, you're going to hear people say that they won and we lost because you're making your voices heard to us to change the plans. Those people will only be half right. They won and so did we. Why would you add that? Salty supervisor. Why would you add that? Why would you add that if you are trying to be authentic and trying to get people back on your side? Because you're pissed because you lost. Well, I didn't lose. We both won. Shut the fuck up, Lisa. Are Our plan was to always solicit the input of the community before any updates to OGL. True. That is true. The drafts that you've seen, we saw one draft, were us attempting to do just that. But I don't think you would have listened to them if we hadn't blown the fuck up. We always want to delight fans and create an experience together with everyone loves. We realized that we did not and many times, and we're sorry for that. You're still not admitting that, yeah. So that was this one. We won't let you down. And again, this line feels really out of place. Why? Because it's a passive-aggressive AI lawyer. Right, DJ? All right, let me read y'all's shit real fast. Let me read your shit. If Hasbro was a homeless shelter, I read that one. Where am I? Mimic Purse. Yeah, Mimic Purse would be really cool. Last big thing, My Little Pony. Yes, it was. Okay, cheese puffs are not going to cut it. I read that. I'm waiting to see what happens. Either see it get legally or, you know, black flag. Me about to write a campaign where Hasbro is the big bad evil guy. Do it. She's talking about that and their own fuck ups. Her goal is to lay the dragon and slay the village. Wait a minute. Very nice, 7. Lawyers are people. It's canon now. No, lawyers aren't people. I mean, some lawyers are. Lawyers who are good are people. Lawyers who are bad are Phyrexian and need to be eliminated. I got a whole bowl of scrambled eggs. Hell yeah. I'm gonna stop teaching the AI to do things. Only make Skynet stronger. Yes. That was an inhumanely lame joke. For real. Gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss your way out of that. That's literally what they did. Okay, so we all kind of get the feel of what I'm talking about here whenever I read this. Very legal, very inhuman. Let's read this one by Kyle. First thing I want to point out, look at how he did the numbering. Look at how he did the numbering. Not like in a legal text. So, I think Pennsylvania is where Lyme's disease is, isn't it? Anyways, that was kind of out the wall. So let's all take a second and pay attention. I'm once again going to struggle to read this, but that's fantastic for you guys because now you get to interpret the words instead of what I put on the words. Hi, I'm Kyle Brink, the executive producer of D&D. It's my team that makes the game we all play. Notice immediately the syntax or like there's a lot of expression in how he said it. Hi, period, instead of hi, comma. It's already incorrect. The first thing that they do is incorrect but human. D&D has been a huge part of my life long before I worked at Wizards and will be for a long time after I'm done. My mission and that of the entire D&D team is to help bring everyone together, the creative joy and lifelong friendships D&D has given us. Humanizing. This went up 2 days ago. This went up a day ago. This sentence, which I'm going to try to read as neutral as I possible. This sentence is what I think is the reason why they relinquished control back to D&D. Hasbro took over and they relinquished control back to D&D. These past days and weeks have been incredibly tough for everyone. As players, fans, and stewards of the game, we can't and we won't let things continue like this. For everyone, not for you guys trying to say, oh, I empathize with you. I feel your pain and your pain is valid. He's not trying to validate our pain here. He's trying to express that he's, Rhino, thank you so much for the day pillow. I fucking love you. Your cat is here. He's trying to express, he used the word everyone on purpose because the Wizard of the Coast team was also suffering. This is enough, right? That's what I'm reading too. I'm reading this as, but look at how different already the verbiage, the grammar, the incorrectness, the language is of this versus everything that we've read about the OGL up to this person's point, up to Kyle. It's entirely different, and again, structured in a legal manner. If this was a legal document, these would be in parentheses. That's how legal documents are structured. And the only fucking reason why I know that is because I was super invested in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case. So I looked at a lot of legal documents during that time, and every single one of them had the parentheses instead of the period. Real paragraphs, real spacing, no big walls of text. Exactly, Nathan. So let's continue reading what Wizards of the Coast, not Hasbro, not a big-ass billion-dollar corporation that can kiss my shiny metal ass, has to say. But good on you if you got that reference. What Wizards of the Coast have to say and what Kyle has to say. Because I truly believe that Kyle is becoming stepped up to become a mouthpiece for us. And I don't know why it's not Jeremy. I don't know why it's not Mike Merles. I don't know why it's not Perkins, Chris Perkins. I wonder why they didn't step up, and it's probably because Kyle was like, this is my responsibility, you know? So let's read what Kyle has to say, shall we? Because they can't and they won't let things continue like this. Everyone is suffering. I am here today to talk about a path forward. Sounds like an arbitrator. Did I use that word right? Arbitrator, the one where the talks to the, sounds like a liaison. I know that word because it's French. It sounds like a liaison. Bender Rodriguez. It sounds like a liaison. Dad, how am I doing in my interpretation? First, let me start with an apology. We are sorry. We got it wrong. Immediately out of the gate, we got it wrong. Our language, I'm trying to make sure you guys can see it. Our language and requirements in the draft of the OGL were disruptive to the creators and not in support of our core values, of our core goals, right? Not these goals that Hasbro wants, our core goals of protecting and cultivating inclusive play and limiting the OGL to TTRPGs. We then compounded things by being silent for too long. We hurt fans and creators. Okay, I just want to say, Kyle, you'll never see this. You weren't silent for too long. You were suppressed for too long. You were oppressed for too long. It's not your, that one's not you, bro. That's not you, bro. We hurt fans and creators when more frequent and clear communication could have prevented so much of this. Yes, it could have, and I'm sure you know that very well. Starting now, we are going to do this a better way. Starting now, as in like putting my foot down. That is very assertive kind of language. Starting now. Okay, so fuck everything else. They're gone. I can't tell you they're gone, but they're gone. Starting now. Yeah, be nice to Kyle. And I will happily say that people are being very nice to Kyle. Some people aren't, but fuck those people. The majority of people, the people who matter most, the people who are most valuable, I guess, the people who have a lot to say, who have a lot to lose, are being nice to Kyle. So we like Kyle. Poor Kyle, new at the job and has to deal with all this. Bro, for real, 3 months in, he's like, fuck me, all right. Starting now, we're going to do this a better way. More open and transparent with our entire community of creators, with the time to iterate, to get feedback, to improve. Yes. Oh, I just want to remind everyone that's watching, I am extremely fucking dyslexic, so I apologize about my reading. Kyle stepped up to play, cleaned up the mess from the AI lawyers, for real. If this sounds familiar, that's because it's how we do it for the game itself. So let's do it that way for the OGL too. I have a feeling that Wizards of the Coast staff were screaming that. We'll listen to you, and then we'll share with you what we have heard, much like we do in our Unearthed Arcana and 1 D&D playtest. This will be a robust conversation before we release any further versions of the OGL. Now, I have seen some dialogue on the internet that I don't necessarily disagree with, and it's been very polite dialogue, so I'm not gonna like write it off right off the bat for being like angry, fuck you. But there are some people saying that it's not really a conversation whenever whenever you're asking permission from us. Like, you're presenting stuff and we're yes knowing it. That's not equal footing. And I can see where that person is coming from, how they said it's going to be a conversation. It's like, hey, it's not a conversation if one person's talking at you and you're just nodding or shaking your head. However, there are open places that they are reading in the feedback section. So I don't know how much more of a conversation you can get unless you put people on a board to speak to them, like literal liaisons, like literal ambassadors. Like, you know how we have an ambassador to France, an ambassador to Japan, you know, that kind of stuff, an ambassador for them. But then it's like you're not capturing the entire community whenever you do that. You're just capturing like a section of the community, and somebody's gonna feel left out. So like, I see both sides. I see where I wish that we could do more than a survey, but open line with the critical role, bro. Side note, because Bard said this. Side note, did everyone see Critical Role's statement? I really respect those people. I don't watch Critical Role personally, but I respect what they've done for the community. I respect how much they've actually told their community, hey, don't be dicks. Like, don't be dicks. It was the most, I don't think I have ever seen a more non-statement statement in my life. And I follow, like, politics. Like, I love Critical Role with all my heart. I love what they're doing. I love their charities. I love what they're doing with board games. I love what they're doing with kids. I love what they're doing for the community. I love what they're doing for friendships and relationships. But like, bro. Yeah, they probably have an NDA or something. But like, that was such a I would have rather them say, we have an NDA. We can't speak about this at this. Or like, I would have rather them say, we cannot comment on this at this time, and just leave it at that. I would have, because everybody would have picked up what they're putting down, right? But it's like, shit, dog. Like, that was, oh God, it really didn't go over well. It didn't go over well. Pepper is asleep. I will give him hey, Uskar. Sorry, Uskar's eating Pepper's food. Uskar will get a treat. Pepper will get a treat. Pepper gets a treat from the vine. Sorry, Uskar started eating Pepper's food, and that makes me angry because he's doing it as a domination thing because Uskar likes to torture Pepper. Max, if you're still listening, can you come shut Uskar out of my room? Anyways, so here's what to expect. I'm blocking it. Here's what to expect. 1, on or before January 20th, which they did on January 19th, we will share a new proposed open game license documentation for your review and feedback, as much as we do with playtest materials. That is a really fast turnaround. This was the 15th. This was the 17th. For them to go like a couple of days and then get that's a really, really fast turnaround. It makes me question if they already had like a proposed OGL and Wizards and then Hasbro stepped in, or if someone very graciously and we should respect said, hey, I want to make this right now, and pulled an all-nighter. If somebody did pull an all-nighter, I'd really like to buy him a box of chocolates. You know what I mean? I'd really like to write whoever pulled that all-nighter, because Hasbro's a little bitch face. I'd really like to buy them a box of chocolates or something like that and say thank you for pulling an all-nighter for the community, because I truly believe that if the OGL documentation was out any later, it would just be a fire again. Like, it would just be a dumpster fire again. So I'm very, very happy. I find it a little sus that the OGL is being reviewed weeks before Vox Machina Series 2 was released. Explain. I do not follow Critical Role, but I am very intrigued by what you have said. Explain, please, if you don't mind. Yeah, they were liking tweets. I did see that. And that was fine. So, 1, that'll be put out. 2, after you review the proposed open game license, you'll be able to fill out a quick survey, much like Unearthed Arcana playtest feedback, and it will ask you about specific questions on the documentation, include open foreign fields, to share your other feedback. Again, I totally understand where that guy was coming from, where he's like, it kind of feels like, it doesn't feel like a conversation, but I do understand where he's coming from. And then 3, the survey will remain open for at least 2 weeks, giving you advance notice before it closes so that everyone who wants to participate can complete the survey. Then we will compile, analyze, and react, and present back what we heard from you. I'm watching Uskar because he just did something to Pepper, and I just want to make sure he doesn't continue being a little jerk. Finally, you deserve some stability and clarity. We are committed to giving creators both input into and room to prepare for any update to the OGL. Also, there is a ton of stuff that isn't going to be affected by the update. Today, right now, we'll lay out all the areas that this conversation won't touch. Human. This all sounds like a human, right? This is not AI generated, right? Any changes to the OGL will have no impact on at least, so they can also remove stuff. But I have a sneaking suspicion that these things that they're about to list were the things that, like, that Kyle demanded of Hasbro, that people were demanding. And if you look, it is actually, like, pretty similar to what Hasbro, to what people were demanding. Your video content, so like TikToks, YouTubes, Twitch, all good. Accessories or owned content, so novels, apparel, which is great, dice, minis, that all is not affected. Non-published works, for instance, contracted services, so things like paid DMs. Virtual tabletop content, the OGL will still allow creators to publish content on VTTs. Then there is the DMs Guild content that is done under a completely different license anyways, so it's not changing. Your OGL 1.0 content, nothing will impact any content that you have published under the 1.0A. That will always be licensed under 1.0A, which is where a bunch of people are fucking confused. Because it says in the new document that they're revoking the 1.0A, but they're saying also that they're grandfathering in stuff, but you kind of can't do those two things at the same time. Or maybe there is a way to do that, and the legalese is just lost on the rest of society. I'm not sure. Your revenue, there will be no loyalty, no financial reporting requirements, which personally, that's what I care about, the no financial reporting. And this is the number one thing, and this is the reason why I am still going to publish stats in a separate document. I'll explain in a second, in 5e. You will continue to own your own content with no license back requirements. That's all for me now, which is a very human response. You will hear again from us before Friday as described above. We look forward to the conversation. Kyle Brink. Human being clearly wrote that. There were errors in it. It was great. It was succinct. It made sense. It flowed well. You know, this is what I want from D&D. This is what I want. And so For me, all of the people who were sitting here looked at this and said, it's not good enough. We don't forgive you. That's not how training works. How training works is whenever the dog does good, it gets a cookie. Whenever the dog does bad, it gets its nose swat. Good cookie, bad nose swat. You don't swat him when he does something good. That's just how it works. You don't swat the dog when he does something good. You also don't swat the dog whenever he doesn't know what he did. But that's a totally different subject with dogs. But whenever the dog does something bad, you swat the nose. Whenever he does something good, you give him a cookie. If somebody does something good and then you swat their nose, well, they're like, why the fuck did I do the nice thing? Why did I put all this effort in? Why did I pull this all-nighter to write this shit? Give a cookie. When they do good, give a cookie. When they do bad, swat the nose. Very easy. So this was good, so we give them a cookie. And then Hasbro's like, oh wow, it's cookies, they're working. And then if Hasbro comes back, no, bad dog, bad, right, we all get where we're going here. You have to train buffoons like buffoons. And corporations are evil, angry, dumb buffoons. Swat, cookie. That's all they're gonna listen to. The cookie is money, by the way. The cookie is money. So my cookie that I would give to this, if I was in charge of the D&D community and I was like, hey, D&D community, the cookie that I would give to this is, if you've canceled your subscription, cancel your subscription. If you haven't, stop, don't cancel it yet. Wait to see if Hasbro comes back. If Hasbro comes back, cancel your subscription so that you have a nose, so you have a hand to swat the nose with. I'm probably very sus. Oh, okay, yeah, you're explaining that. That's what that is. Okay. No, they made someone work the late shift. This sounds like a lock it up when you're done job. Yeah, definitely. CR have made more money in their own products than the products released under OGL. The new OGL was also covered digital media, so I am sure CR would have had to give up some of the royalties for the show. I'm sure they already give up royalties for the show because they use the reason why I think they give up royalties for the show is because they use things that are not in the SRD. The SRD is actually a very, very compact thing, and it becomes really frustrating to try to make something in the contents of the SRD. And whenever you're not making money, so like, you know, shows and stuff that make no money, it's just a bunch of friends coming around, and you do make subs, but it's, you know, that's not really counting as making money on their shit. Whenever it's that kind of a thing, you can get outside the SRD because you're too small of a peon for them to squash. You're not the squeaky wheel. You're not going to get the grease. The thing is, Critical Role uses a lot of shit outside of, like, the gods, all of the gods and stuff, outside Artificer, outside, most of the races outside. Literally all of the races this year, I think, are outside of the SRD, but they're allowed to do that and make money off of it because they already pay royalties to Critical Role, to D&D. So in my personal opinion, they're already paying fucking royalties, dude. This is not going to affect them because they use so much stuff outside of the SRD. It's ridiculous. That's the reason why it's so cool whenever a lot of other shows aren't as cool, because they use stuff outside the SRD. I mean, Artificer's outside the US, the SRD, and there was an Artificer. What are the fucking robots? Oh shit, what are the robots? Freshly cut grass? Yeet! Isaac, thank you so much for the sub. I fucking appreciate it. You'll have to remind me. I owe you a tattoo. Cause Metal took the last tattoo. There we go! Another Squishmallow completed. Autonome is also outside of the SRD. Exandria's outside of the SRD. Anything from Eberron's outside of the SRD. So Loxodon, Tortle's outside the SRD. I'm trying to remember the Warforge. Warforge is outside of the SRD. A lot of the demons and devils are outside of the SRD. A lot of the monsters are outside of the SRD. There's a lot of stuff outside the SRD that Critical Role uses constantly. And so they're already paying royalties. There's no way that they're not. Are they really better writers? That's fucking funny. That's fucking funny. Yeah, 90% of their content isn't SRD. So this is what we got 2 days ago. Okay? Isaac, thank you so much for the daily pillow. I fucking appreciate it. I fucking love you. So this is what we got 2 days ago. This is what we got 1 day ago. Starting the OGL play test. And then I want to go ahead and go through this Twitter thread because it's really important. But this is Kyle again. For over 20 years, thousands of creators have helped grow the tabletop RPG community using a shared set of game mechanics that are the foundation for the unique words and other creations. We don't want to change that. We've heard loud and clear that neither do you. Immediately what I get from that is a lot less stress, a lot more of the flourish that you normally see from people who play Dungeons and Dragons, the pizzazz, you know, because it really, like, for thousands of creators have helped, you know, it very much rolls off the tongue, you know, and so I think that that's really important to recognize that there has been a response from Wizards of more calm, which is a good thing, but also, like, a scary thing, because it's like, okay, is Hasbro gonna come back? Remember, Hasbro slap Wizards and doing things for the community, give a cookie, but we also have to understand that they do have to protect their assets. They do. We can't have NFTs of fucking owlbears going out like fucking Zoo whatever that Logan Paul did. Like, we can't do this. So we're doing two things. One, we're giving the core D&D mechanics to the community through the Creative Commons license, which means they are fully in your hands, which I am. This is a this is a thing. This is like a thing. It's basically like anyone can use it now. It's no royalties, unlicensed content basically. They're basically like giving it to everyone. Oh my god, DJ, thank you so much for the daily pillow. I fucking love you. You're new here, but I fucking love you. So they're basically like, here is the mechanics, which is really cool, but also they couldn't really copyright the mechanics to begin with because it's actually codified by the Congress, US Congress, that you can't copyright mechanics in games. So, like, you can't copyright rolling a die and, like, adding something to it. So, a little weird that they're doing that, but I also think it might have been a symbolic move. I would hazard to guess this was a symbolic move made by PR people that actually know what the fuck they're doing. To be like, okay, we're just gonna like codify this, because, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, think back to gay marriage, right? We were all they repealed abortion rights, and they had said in that thing, well, fucking Clarence Thomas did, that they wanted to repeal, and they wanted to look at the case that does gay marriage, because the reason why everyone could have gay marriage wasn't because there was a rule in place, it was because there was a ruling. So in order to codify something means to take something that is assumed to be true and make it true. So I think that's what this is. I think they're codifying, yes, you can use the SRD, and we cannot legally come after you in any way, shape, or form. And so I think this is a symbolic message of codifying something that is assumed to be true and is true, but it's true because nobody's ever really, like, said it's not. So We're just saying it is. So I actually see this as like an olive branch. That's what I see this as. I see this as an olive branch to be like, we will not touch this. We will never touch this. I see this as an olive branch. And again, the idea of codifying something, taking something that is assumed and making it written law. Just like gay marriage. Because, bro, we saw what happened. So, Creative Commons is a nonprofit dedicated to sharing knowledge and developed a set. I haven't read this, by the way, so you're about to see how bad my reading gets. Creative Commons is a nonprofit dedicated to sharing knowledge, and it develops a set of licenses to let creators do that. Creative Commons license we picked lets us give everyone those core mechanics forever, which is great that he's saying that, because we don't control the license. Releasing D&D core rules under the Creative Commons license will be a decision we can never change, which is exactly what people were saying. They're saying they're gonna fucking sweep their feet. And there were people fear-mongering saying that they're gonna take away this stuff that they literally can't take away. There were people, I will go fucking find that video. It pissed me off so much. This person was like, they're gonna take away our paladins and they're gonna copyright paladin, they're gonna copyright monk and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they can't. They physically can't. You can't copyright the word paladin. You can copyright it as like a name of a brand of a specific thing, but you in like makeup or something, but you can't copyright the name paladin. And people were fear-mongering this shit. And it was so annoying. It fucking made me mad and it made me cry several times, because we don't control the license. Releasing the D&D under this is a decision we can never change. Let's talk about OGL 1.2. Love that for you, and the important ways it differs from 1.0. It's either French or Italian anyways for knight. I think that doesn't sound French. Actually, yeah, it kind of does. It might be both. The word dormir is sleep, to sleep, and it's the same in French, Spanish, and Italian, so could be. First, it allows us to address hateful content, which again, I'm like, where is this coming from? Second, it only applies to published TTRPG content, including VTTs. Third, it is licensed specifically to include the word irrevocable. You listened. Cookie, right? We got the word irrevocable. I've heard there's a little bit of confusion with the word irrevocable, that like only sections of it are irrevocable. I've heard something about that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. What's not in there? There is no loyalty payment. Perfect. Now this is again one of those things where apparently it's not said, so it's just assumed that there's no loyalty. Some people are requesting for there to be like verbiage in there that there will never be royalties. I respect that want. It's not necessarily something that I think I'll ever have a problem with. I think the only people who would have a problem with that is really big people. But then again, greedy is what greedy does. And I'm filling out the survey as we go. Scrambled eggs. Good. Everyone fill out the survey. Definitely. So no royalty payments, no financial reporting, which was just so fucking weird. It was so I mean, like, I get that. I get, like, data. Sure, like, data's nice. But, like, the financial reporting that they asked for in the 9,000-page document was fucking weird. No license back, which is what I want. And I want verbiage that there will never be a license back. That's where I want that verbiage. No registration, because it's like, all right, dude, like, you literally just pointed. Gaming Gremlin, thank you so much for the lurk. I fucking appreciate it. And thank you for the daily pillow. I fucking appreciate it. I fucking love you. There's a lot of stuff that if Hasbro tried to do copyright, trademark, still owns the IP to the publisher under the, yeah. And so, yeah, I definitely want there to be language in there. Now that they've already shown their hand, now I'm like, well, now you have to put language in there that you're not going to do that. Because, like, You're not gonna back me into a corner with a gun and then just be like, ah, just kidding, I'm not gonna shoot you. Like, you can walk away now. And I'm like, no, give me the gun. Give me the gun. The license black was always under the fan policy content anyways for free stuff. Yes, it was under the fan policy content for free stuff, not for paid stuff though. And that's what my shit is. I just don't want them touching my setting because I think my setting's really good and they would touch it. No distinction between commercial and non-commercial. Lovely, we love that. Nothing will impact any content that you've already published under the 1.0. We need clarification of when the 1.0 ends because there's gonna be things that are in production when 1.2 goes into, or 1.3 or 1.4 goes into effect. That we need to know when. Oh, my music's still going. Wow. We need to know when, but you know, that can just be, we're getting the basics first. This has always been licensed under 1.0. Your stuff is your stuff. We love that. We love that sentence. We love that statement. That is also a statement that can be taken to court, being like, here, they gave me this letter that said my stuff is my stuff, and then they stole it. They went back on their word, which is a thing that you can go to court about. So that again is a proof that this is non-legal. And again, these are not numbered with the little parentheses. So again, this is proof that this is not written by a legal person who's pretending to be Kyle. Like Kyle's name is on a legal person's document, you know? Protecting D&D inclusive play experience. As I said above, content more clearly associated with D&D like class, spells, monsters is what falls under the OGL. You see that OGL 1.2 lets us act when offensed or hurtful content is published using the covered D&D stuff. Is this because of that sex book from 3.5? Or 3.0. I literally can't even pull it up for you. I can't even show you what I'm talking about. But for people who don't know what I'm talking about, in 3.0, there was a book about getting pregnant and sex and getting crossbred. I literally can't show it to you. Like, I can't show it to you. But I kind of wonder if that's what this is. I really want to know what spurred this. Or was it because new like NEU TSR did that shit with making I really want to know. Yeah, it was like made for memes, but like it was in depth, dude. Like, I don't think the people who wrote that were really like laughing whenever they wrote that. They were like, yes, this is what would happen if an orc and a fairy fucked. Yes. Also, there was a chart in this book of who could have babies or who could have sex with each other. Like, who would actually be able to get pregnant. Looking at the survey, they're going about this well. They ask you to rate the levels of understanding and satisfaction of each section with a box and then add comments and questions. Good! That sounds good. Okay, so that is the hurtful experience. We want inclusive, safe play experience for everyone. This is deeply important to us, and OGL 1.0 didn't have the ability to ensure this. I understand that. I understand that. I would really like, are you talking about the old 2nd edition Unearthed Arcana book? No, this is a book that was like quite literally published. Like, it happened. It was in print for 3.0. Yeah, vampirism is an STI, and they had like STDs and like fungal infections that you could get in your Vagoober. Yeah, it was insane. I don't remember the name of the book. I think it was the Book of Erotic, the Book of Erotic Fantasies or something like that. I literally can't show you. I quite literally can't show you. Anyways, the Okay, this is the one that people were talking about. The tabletop RPGs and virtual tabletops. 1.0, 1.2 will only apply to tabletop RPGs content, whether books published as books, electronic publications, or virtual tabletop. Nobody needs to wonder or worry if it applies to anything else. It doesn't. Wait, so people are allowed to make shirts with owl bears on it, or people are not allowed to make shirts with owl bears on it? Is that fan content? What if they sell them? Deauthorizing OGL. Okay, we know this is a big concern. Thank you for saying that. The Creative Commons license is in the open terms of 1.2 are intended to help with that. One key reason we are deauthorizing it, we can't use the protective options in 1.2 if someone can't choose to publish harmful or discriminatory or illegal content under 1.0a. Again, any content you have already published under the OGL 1.0 will always be licensed under the 1.0. That's not how that works. Unless you are saying you're grandfathering in, which if so, you really need to release a date by which things will be grandfathered, and it should probably be like a year out. Good evening. Hi, Cookie. Thank you so much for the daily pillow and the cookie. I like to imagine that you hand me a cookie on the pillow. Like that's whenever you give me a cookie, you give me a cookie on a pillow. Thank you so much for the daily pillow. I fucking appreciate you. I fucking love you. You can't use protective options. Yeah. So I'm confused. Dead Aussie Gamer. No, we are in the mindset. All of us here at the Pillow Fort are in the mindset. Also, can we get a shout out for Dead Aussie Gamer? We are all in the mindset here that when Wizards does something good, we give him a cookie. And when Wizards does something bad, we bop him on the nose. Good means cookie, bad means bop him on the nose. You have to treat corporations like dogs because they're disgusting. But dogs aren't. Dogs are dogs are the angel, corporations are the devil. So yeah, we are currently giving cookies or bopping on the nose. I have a couple of questions, especially about this deauthorizing OGL. I don't know if you know this. The way that they're saying it makes it seem like it's being grandfathered in. Where are we with the bops and cookies? Oh, that's a good question. Well, we read this one. With the one where they were like, those people would only be half right. They won, and so did we. And we were like, what the fuck? But now we're on to Kyle. Kyle's gotten lots of cookies. Kyle seems cool. We like Kyle. We like Kyle so far. I'm just confused about the deauthorization thing. I need to go read the document, except legal documents are incredibly, incredibly difficult. Hello? Atlas, thank you so much for the sub. I fucking appreciate it. 26 months. Woo! Poor Kyle. He's been in the job like 3 months apparently. Bro, for real. I know that he's been at Wizards longer than that. But yeah, he's just been at the thing for 3 months. Thank you for the daily pillow, Atlas. I fucking love you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're not sick anymore. The document will likely have a grandfather end date. See, the thing for me, Bard, is that I'm just extremely dyslexic and literally legalese like this. Oh, it's actually not in a bad. It's not all capitals. Normally, whenever you type things in legalese, there's all capitals. I like how they put draft. I like how they listened. That's this draft, give a cookie. They get a cookie for drafting. Have a good lurk, Cookie. We'll definitely go in and look at this deauthorization because I can actually read that because it's not all capitals. Whenever you get all capitals, it's all straight lines and the curves are the same angle. So I can't fucking read shit. Like I'm just sitting here like, what? From what I understand, the deauthorization said they're already anything already published on the OGL is fine, but making new things in the previous OGL is not authorized, which is totally fine. Like I'm good with that because obviously my stuff will be published under the OGL. Which, by the way, if you're not subscribed up to date with what's going on with my book, it's literally being published. It's literally the Kickstarter's going live in a month. Well, the 21st, but a month, because I don't stream tomorrow, which is fucking insane. It is a book for dungeon masters, and one of my sensitivity readers described it as if Xanather from Xanathar's Guide to Everything wrote a dungeon master guide, it would be this book. And then I think they said it's so good. And then I had another person, literally another sensitivity reader, send me back. I have never read for sensitivity and then wanted to read more. Like, just please, why did you send me so little? And I was like, you're so nice. So yeah, as long as it complies with the actual OGL, but like the thing is that I didn't want them having the license to use my material. That was what I didn't like. And I didn't like the financial reporting. I didn't like that. I didn't like that either. I'm very private with my finances, but I didn't like the financial reporting, and I didn't like the licensing, like they could use my shit. I didn't like that because I only needed the OGL for one section of the book for the races. But if I use the OGL, it's all or nothing for the book. So you either have all of the stuff in the book be licensed to let them use, or none of the stuff. And my dad, who read a lot of legalese and a lot of IP legal for his job, agreed with me on that. And I was like, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that. So I took it out of the book. I took 5e out of the book, and now it's system agnostic, and we're going to be putting out pamphlets with it for multiple games, which I'm really excited about, which we're going to talk about in a second. We're going to be putting out, basically, I'll just explain. We're going to be putting out the book, and along with the book, we're going to be putting out PDF pamphlets, and these PDF pamphlets are going to be free. Anyone can have them, and I'm really excited that anyone can have them, but they're going to be free PDF pamphlets that I make that are going to have the rules and going to have the mechanics, just the mechanics for the races, for the homebrew races. And right now we're going to do Pathfinder and 5e. We're going to do Black Flag. We're going to do Open D&D as well. Unless D&D fucking sucks and Hasbro comes back and boo, 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 corporate. Then we're not going to do open 1 D&D. But I know we're doing Pathfinder 2e. We're doing Pathfinder 1e because that's basically 3.5. And we're doing D&D to start. And then we're going to put Black Flag, the Black Flag production in there. And we're also going to put... So basically what will happen is, like, I'll keep releasing, as people ask for games, I'll just release these pamphlets. So that way any fantasy game can play it, and we'll have shit for it. And so that way, if they want to have the OG, and that way the OGL only needs to go in the pamphlet, it doesn't need to go in the book, so you bypass the licensing agreement. That's what we're going to do. So again, if you want to sign up for the book mailing list to know when it goes live and have updates, and know when you can pre-save the Kickstarter, which is really cool and apparently a really big deal in the algorithm, you should follow that MailChimp and put your email in it. Yeah, I have like 600 emails now, and I don't know. Powered by the Apocalypse. Somebody write that down. Somebody write down Powered by the Apocalypse. I don't have a place to write it. Someone write down Powered by the Apocalypse. Because that's a good one too. We should do that system as well. That'd be good. That'd be 4. We can have D&D 5e. We can have Pathfinder 1e, Pathfinder 2e, and Powered by the Apocalypse. That'd be good. That'd be good 4. But that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna have pamphlets. And then very limited license changes allowed. Only 2 sections can be... Okay, so this is what people were talking about. This is what people were talking about. I can write it in Twitch. Somebody will write it in... I bet somebody's already written it. Somebody will write it. Somebody write it to me in Discord, please. But the very limited changes to license, only 2 sections can be changed to 1.2 is once it's live. how you cite wizards in your work. I get that. Maybe I get that. Maybe you don't want people to put D&D compatible. Maybe you want people to put 5e compatible. Maybe you want people to put 6e compatible. Maybe you change your name. Maybe you want to say Dungeons and Dragons community content. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I like, especially if there's some kind of name change or some kind of like general change that happens. Or like if you want fucking with their fucking ego, D&D Hasbro. Like if you want fucking Hasbro, if they have an ego like that, if their little PP needs to get stroked every once in a while, I mean, that's fine. Whatever, I'll do that so I can post my content, How we can contact each other. Okay. Right. So if they say to us, that's pretty reasonable. I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty reasonable things to change. I understand changing the contact. Right now, we work on email, right? Or like, but what if mail becomes not necessary anymore? Roll performance to stroke their ego. But what if it doesn't become like important anymore, right? What if we stop doing mail? What if we stop doing email? What if we make something different than email? What if everything goes to text message? I completely understand where they're coming from whenever they want to be able to update with technology as technology updates, because we are going into Web3. We are. It sucks, but we are. So I understand that. We don't know what the future holds or what technologies we will use to communicate with each other, so we thought these two sections needed to be future-proofed. That makes sense to me. I'm not gonna lie. I like everything else being irrevocable except those two sections. I'm a little confused about what they're talking about on Twitter with some sections about virtual tabletop now, because that's not what that says, but we'll look into that. We will look into that. For completeness, let's sum up what else 1.2 and supporting documents. Okay. Virtual tabletop policy. We will continue to support VTT usage. Both of the OGL creators and VTT operators virtual tabletop policy spells this out. Okay, that's number one. Ownership disputes. You own your content. We don't give wizards any license back. You don't give wizards any license back. And for any owner's dispute, you can sue for breach of contract and money damages versus holding up products other players are waiting for while we sort it out. I would have to read the specific legalese. Okay. No hateful content, which is fine. If you include harmful, discriminatory, illegal content, or engage in such conduct publicly, we can terminate your OGL 1.2 license. Oh my god, that's what they fucking... There was some bitch-ass bitch on the, on Twitter who was like, I just got caught for jaywalking. Looks like my OGL 1.2 is terminated. No, they're talking about drugs. They're talking about you doing heroin. They're talking about you like saying the N-word or something, or like making really shitty jokes. That's what they're talking about. They're probably... Are they talking about Freckled Hobo? No. They're not talking. Are they? So for people who don't go on TikTok, which by the way, I do TikTok and have a following on TikTok.
Freckled Hobo is somebody who is famous in the D&D space because she causes shit. She starts shit. She has like this goblin thing that was like very Jew coded, and it was gross because it was just all of the Jew like anti-Semitic tropes in one. And then there was another time where she went after this person who played Opal in Exandria Unlimited and actually fucking sued. Actually sent a cease and desist, sent legal notice to them and everything. She is the Trish Paytas of D&D. Yes. No. You don't. Because this would say, you can't do this. Like, you cannot mention D&D anymore. You cannot associate yourself D&D anymore. Because that was a big fucking deal. That was a big deal in the D&D community. Everyone was talking about it across the board. Because, like, what she did to Critical Role was so fucked up. And Wizards of the Coast and Critical Role are very close to each other. And I'm sure their teams talk. And I'm sure they have similar legal teams. It would not surprise me if they had similar legal teams who talk to each other. It's all about content control. Yeah. So it would not surprise me whatsoever if their legal team looked at Wizards' legal team. That type of criticism is covered under free speech. What do you mean criticism? I'm talking about a person who totes the fact that they're a D&D content creator and does like racist and it's mostly anti-Semitic things on a D&D live show and in D&D TikToks. So she uses the name D&D, which is part of the OGL, to gain a following, and then does anti-Semitic things for attention. To get, to gain people. Her name is Freckled Hobo. You can just fucking, there's so many YouTube videos about her. No way. That would be insane. That would be insane. I have to restart the music. One moment. I would not be surprised if something like that spurred it. If something, like maybe somebody saying something anti-Semitic or somebody having, like, something must have spurred that. It could also be like Kanye West going on this train. Overall, what we're, she, well, it depends. She makes money from her live streamed shows. But the live stream shows are under the fan content, they said. So maybe not. Then I really wonder, they probably did it in case she ever wanted to, they can say no. They probably did it because of Kanye West, to be honest. They probably did it because of Kanye West. Anyways. Overall, what we're going for here is a good faith creators, to give good faith creators the same level of freedom or greater for things in the Creative Commons. Once again, that's not how it works, but okay. To create tabletop RPG content that's been so great for everyone, while giving us the tools to ensure the game continues to become even more inclusive, ever more inclusive and welcoming. Okay, now for the actual documents. And then he posts the documents, which is great. Once again, let the numbering like this. What the heck did Kanye West do? Wait, Cookie, you don't know? I literally don't have time to explain this. Kanye West quite literally said on a live podcast that he loves Hitler and that Hitler did a lot of amazing things for this world. No, Kanye is on a total manic streak. Like, as a person who experiences mania and psychosis, I'm so shocked that you don't know what Kanye's doing. Like, everyone has dropped him. He is not allowed anywhere. Cookie. Oh my God. I will link you stuff on Discord. I will link you a thing on Discord. Probably, she probably get in trouble in the OGL trying to better control the digital content as it was not covered. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It maybe. I think they're just trying to cover their ass because they've been called racist so many times. Which is nice, because that means, hey, I don't want to be racist anymore. So, Cookie? Snap? I don't know. Cookie, because you don't want to be racist anymore, and you want to remove racism. So, Cookie. All right. Provide your feedback on the survey. The survey remains open until February 3rd, which is, interestingly enough, the day that Phyrexia goes live. Uskar has found out what a Q-tip is, and he is obsessed. And then we'll talk again on February 17th. That's a good amount of time for what we have shared for the updates. Not a lot of time, but that's a good amount of time. The process will extend as long as it needs to. We will keep iterating until we get it right. D&D is my life's hobby because I'm fundamentally a co-op gamer. Let's tackle this together. Me. Cookie. No, it's bad. Kanye West has literally been kicked off of everything. Balenciaga doesn't support him anymore. Yeezys, his shoe brand, done. Nike cut him off. They bought him out of the Yeezys thing. The Yeezys aren't being created anymore. He doesn't have a shoe brand anymore. He went to Paris Fashion Week wearing a shirt that says White Lives Matter. It's crazy. It's wild. All right, let's look at this actual document. So, okay. This is what they're talking about. This. Okay. Right here. How you cite wizards in your work. This is why. Because now they want you to put a specific tag, a uniform tag, which is totally fine. It makes absolute sense. I totally get that, but they want the ability to update the tag. That's why. Cool. Okay. Anything that covers I need to find the section that talks about deauthorizing 1.0. I want to see the section. I want to see. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find. Yeah. Satine Phoenix? Let's not talk about that. Okay, notice of, here it is. All right. Notice of deauthorization of 1.0. The Open Game License 1.0 is no longer an authorized license. This means that you may not use that version of the OGL, any prior version, to publish SRD content after effective date. Okay. I'd like to know the effective date so that I can plan. This does not mean that any content previously published under this version needs to be updated to this license. Any previously published content remains licensed under which version of the OGL was in effect whenever you publish the content. Okay, I totally understand that. is no longer an authorized license. So they're not, okay, so they're not using the word revoke. Because if they use the word revoke in a legal sense, then it would like undo. It's edit undo, right? So what they're saying is no longer authorized, which means that they're like, all right, and sleep. So I'm very interested. I'm very interested in what this date is going to be. I'd like it a little more like stated. A little more clearly stated that Wizards is not going to come after us for anything published before that. Like I'd like it clearly stated that Wizards is not going to come after us. But let's move on. So, great, we have enough time. The last thing that we have to read today, out of everything, all the things that we read today, which make me, you know, pretty hopeful for the future. We have a thread. Hey everyone, the survey for 1.0 feedback is now live. We also wanted to respond to a few topics we've seen pop up over the past day. We've seen people ask why OGL 1.2 doesn't explicitly say anything about money. That is because it is a free license. We'll make that clear in the next revision. Cookie. Hate and harmful content is hard to define, and we know this is a sensitive topic. We're talking about it and your input seriously. We will clarify the language around this in the next draft. We encourage your feedback, your specific feedback in the survey. I definitely think that hateful and harmful content should definitely be clarified, that it is harmful towards, like, people, not harmful towards the company. Because you could say harmful and hateful speech is harmful and hateful towards the company, right? Like, that's definitely a thing that Hasbro could stick their little fingers in the little pies and, like, we wouldn't have anything to do because we fucking signed it, right? So I think that it's really good to be able to define harmful and hateful. Define that this does, and I think they need to specifically define that this does not include harmful or hateful comments towards them. That would be the thing that I would be looking for, is towards them or towards their brand, right? Yeah, all that shit with Sassy and Phoenix was actually fucked up. Right. We understand that there is a spectrum between virtual tabletops and video games. The VTT policy will get updated, and we would like to hear your thoughts on the VTT policy questions in our playtest survey. We love what we've seen so far, and we want your feedback in the OGL 1.2 playtest. Our amazing team has the tools to go through your survey responses, and we'll be collecting your feedback. Yeah, that's I didn't know that it was doing that. That kind of sucks that they were having some issues. One of the things that made, like, this, I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that person. This. I hate that. I hate that so much. You're just fucking fear-mongering. Let's go look really fast. Let's go look really fast at the virtual tabletop. Because people were having some issues with that. Where is the virtual tabletop policy? If you see it, at me and yell at me. Unlicensed content. Oh, draft. Okay, so this whole thing. For discussion purposes only. That's so funny. That's so funny. For discussion purposes, just, oh my god, draft. Just, I love it. I love it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I do find it funny, but I also appreciate it. As gamers, okay, hang on. Let me fucking make this bigger so I can read it. As gamers and big fans of VTT, we're announcing the new VTT policy rollout 1.2. Why does Wizards need a VTT policy? We support the role of VTT, virtual tabletop, by the way. In the tabletop space, the ability for game remotely means more people can game, and it is wonderful wonderful that thousands of miles apart can share a space, though sitting around a table. But as VTTs advance, their functionality will raise tricky questions. Where is the line between VTT and video game? What? What? What do you mean, where's the line between VTT and video game? I feel like it's pretty clear when something is a video game and something is a VTT. And when does it become more than just a replacement for traditional tabletop? Those questions require thoughtful answers. Answering them will take time, and we want this policy to reflect your input, so we'll be asking for feedback. What is permitted on those? So VTT... That's confusing. Other parties will come up with their own rule system when we get more game variation in the market. I mean, yeah, like, I'm totally down for Black Flag, and I am gonna, like, cover it and stuff. I definitely think, though, that if Hasbro or if Wizards of the Coast puts all this time and puts all this effort into fixing this, we should give them a cookie. We should not slap them on the nose because Hasbro came in and fucked shit up. Because what's going to happen is that Hasbro's going to come in and be like, let's bleed this pig dry. And it's not, I've seen it happen before to companies, and it's not fun. So we should not do that. VTT is to replicate the experience of sitting around a table playing the D&D. Yeah. So displaying static SRD. So displaying static SRD content is just fine because it's just like looking at a source book, right? You can put the text of Magic Missile up on your VTT and used it to calculate the applied damages to your target, and automating Magic Missile's damage to replace manually rolling calculation also fine. The VTT can apply Magic Missile's 1d4 plus 1 damage automatically to your target's hit points, so you do not have to manually calculate and track the game. This is an accessibility. That's an accessibility thing. What isn't permitted is features that don't replicate your dining room table storytelling. If you replace your imagination with an animation of Magic Missiles streaking across the board to strike your target, or your VTT integrates our content into an NFT. Okay, that's fine. VTT content going into an NFT. I don't get the Magic Missile. That's not tabletop experience. That's more like a video game. But I like it whenever I'm on a battlefield and I can put rain on top of the battlefield. So does that mean rain? See, what I think would be more like a video game would be the automating stuff. That's what I would think would be more like a video game, is the automation, is the doing it for you. You don't have to have the math skills. It just does it for you. That's more like a video game. I didn't even consider because I was more thinking about video games, like those old video games that you played back in the day. Like you guys were talking about that one time that my dad tested, where you like put in an input and then it moves and then everyone else moves. Like I totally, like for me, the way that animation is more video game than calculator. That's true. I guess the thing for me, sometimes we use environments in tabletop play. Yeah, I get where they're coming from. They don't want somebody to create a movie or like a video game out of their stuff, and I can see where they're coming from because a lot of people have done that. But I don't know if this line is very well defined. Good night, Cookie. I love you. Mwah. Yeah, like the game controller to attack. Like, that's where I think of. I think of, like, having to aim or having to press jump at the correct time. I don't necessarily think of... I'll definitely leave some feedback on that. I definitely will. What isn't permitted is replicate your dining room. Yeah, okay. And, like, integrating into NFTs is fucking stupid. And, like, we shouldn't integrate into NFTs. NFTs need to die. Well, art NFTs need to die. Other NFTs are fine. May I make my own owlbear token look like one from the Monster Manual? No. We've never licensed visual depictions of our content under the OGL, just the text and the SDR. That's true. There are no visual things in the OGL. However, I will say that if you publish stuff through the Dungeon Masters Guild, you do get assets. You do get art assets. Yeah. I think that's a really good way to say it, Golos. And hello. Welcome in. Thank you for the daily pillow. I fucking love you. We've had a good time. Ripping Hasbro apart because boo, fuck Hasbro, and then building Wizards of the Coast up because yay, nerds. You can create a creature called an owlbear with a stack block from the SDR. You cannot copy any of our owlbear depictions, yes, but if you draw your own unique owlbear or someone else did, you can use it. Yes. You spent... I'm so proud of you, Golas. You get a cookie. We've been talking about how you have to give a cookie to corporations whenever they do something right, meaning money, and you have to smack them on the nose like a dog whenever they do something wrong. Like a dog. You have to treat corporations like a dog because they're fucking bitches. Grizzly owl. Yeah, something like that. And I think that's perfectly fine. I also think it's fine that they're like, hey, no, like, we pay, because, like, I will tell you a good chunk of the book went... Hello? What's up? What's up? What's up, baby boy? What do you want? Those are grapes. Those will kill you. Good boy. I will take you out in like 10 minutes, okay? Okay? I'm sorry. He's telling me that he needs to go out. Rolled up newspaper in response. Yes. I like a lot of the stuff that Kyle said. Kyle's cool. We like Kyle. Kyle gets cookies. Some of the stuff I don't like. Some of the stuff I want more clarification on. Some of the stuff I'm like, hey, you gotta tell me like when you're implementing this, like now. Like what is the deadline Hasbro gave you? Like what is it? So what about 1.0? Does this policy apply to that? Yes, you can upload your already licensed content to VTT. I own or operate VTT. How does this benefit? If you are VTT who supports OGL products on your content, you have the same obligations for VTT content on every other website owned and operated under the DMCA. You say this is a conversation. Does that mean this policy can change? Yes, we need your feedback. Yeah, this is kind of fucking stupid. I mean, not the idea. Not the idea of needing a policy in order to make sure people aren't like, it's a virtual tabletop whenever it's a video game. But I think I would define the virtual tabletop. I don't know. You know what? Here's where I would put my definitions of a virtual tabletop. 1, a co-op game. specifically for Dungeons and Dragons, a co-op game with a dungeon master. That's one of the requirements for virtual tabletops. 2, it's a tabletop. So you don't move your monster by holding the left stick. You move your monster by moving them squares, right? You don't attack by pressing, and 3, you don't attack by pressing X. You attack by rolling dice. I think that's how I would define it. And I think if you define it like that, I think you sweep most of those options. I don't know. I think that's everything. I don't know. I'm Void. My little work. I'm definitely not anti 1.2. But we need to go to 1.3. I'm not anti 1.2. I like the step. We give them a cookie for the step, but we do need to go to 1.3. Like, there are some stuff that needs to be more clearly defined, and also you do need to put in language that you can't fucking betray us because you've already tried to betray us once. And somebody was going around with like this thing where it's like, if somebody just tried to shoot you and then was like, just kidding, I'm not gonna shoot you, like, go ahead, like the gun misfired, he's like, just kidding, I'm not gonna shoot you, go ahead. Like, you wouldn't trust him? Right. But I also wouldn't just stand there and be like, you motherfucker. Like, I wouldn't stand there. I would take precaution to secure my exit. So, like, I would say, hand me the gun. Kyle needs your help. He wants to get it right, but he has Hasbro corporate in his ear giving him corporate filter to see everything through. I think he's trying to do the right thing, but he needs help to see things as they really are through the players' filters. Serious comments back to Kyle will be read and considered. I definitely agree with that, and I obviously cannot tell people why this is so, because it will identify my family, but my dad has a lot of experience in intellectual property and dealing with corporates in intellectual property. So if he says that if they'll read it and that Kyle is in charge, I believe him. So I really, really recommend everybody take the time to go and do is this the survey? I've been Kyle before. I kind of want to know what project you were Kyle on. That is the survey that they're doing. So especially people who canceled their subscriptions, I really, really recommend that you help Kyle. God, I think my final thoughts are thank you for not shooting me, because you could have. You could have just done it. But thank you for not shooting me. Now give me the gun. Give me the gun. I'm not going to shoot you. I just don't want you to try to shoot me again. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at the give me the gun moment, where I'm like, let's not fuck this up again. Let's just keep going this way. Yeah. But I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I think so too, Golas. I definitely think that I was telling everybody about giving them a cookie. And I was saying that, everyone canceling their subscription was swatting them on the nose and being like, no. And then now they've released this new OGL and Kyle's in charge now. So now we give them a cookie by not canceling anymore. Everyone stopped canceling their stuff. Being like, I'm listening. We're holding fire. We're ceasefire. I'm listening. And then whenever they do something good, we go back to them to give them a cookie to let them know, hey, this is the way we want you to do things. This is the way you're going to get our money. Because remember, corporations are dogs. Not the good dog. The bad dog. Bitches. As it's a corporate account? What do you mean it's a corporate account? But I'm really, really happy with what's going on. I think this is good. I think this is good progress. I feel really bad for Kyle. Being in this job 3 fucking months. And Hasbro's like, fix it. Fix it. And it's like, shit, dog. That sucks. But I think this is good. I think this is going good. I think. And for my book, for everyone who's wondering, my book will be published. The book is going to be published with all lore. All of the content that is going to be like specific to different things is going to be published after. And it all depends on what, from one of their company. Oh, okay, gotcha. One of all the stuff is going to be published after the fact. Meaning that there is going to be a period, because there's going to be a period of time where we have no idea what's going on with the OGL, so I'm just going to, like, wait for that to be done. And then I'm going to publish all of the mechanics by themselves, so that nobody can take them. Well, can take my gods. That's really what I care about. So yeah, that's how we're going to go about this. That's how we're going to path forward this stuff. And it's going to be system agnostic, and I want it to be system agnostic anyways, because I think a lot of people are going to switch to Black Flag, and I would love to be able to put my stamp on and be like, this is Black Flag compatible, because it's compatible with fucking everything. It's just lore. Hi, your mom. I'm literally about to end. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What is this? Angry. I am tired. I need to eat. I need to walk him because he needs to pee. But I want to let all of you know that I'm really, really appreciative of everyone sticking around and seeing this through with me. And I'm so grateful for everyone who halted your talking about the open game license while I panicked for my fucking life. I'm done panicking though, so you can talk about it now. And I'm gonna say that on so many others can watch it. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. If you're seeing this on YouTube, hi. I have a book. Yeah, I did read the Discord thread. But that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Hi, YouTube. Metal says hi, YouTube. I fucking love you guys. If you have not signed up, please sign up to be part of the book emails. The pre-Kickstarter page should be going live very soon, which is really fucking crazy. It's really wild to think that the pre-Kickstarter page could be going live soon. But yeah, it's going to, so that's fun. The synopsis, the single sentence of my book is one of my sensitivity readers said, if the Dungeon Master's Guide, if Xanathar's everything wrote the Dungeon Master's Guide, it would be my book, because that's just how good it's written. Because Xanathar's was just one of the best books. So, with that being said, thank you so much, everyone. I fucking love you. I will see you on Sunday. And whether it is Magic, D&D, or anything in between, like Black Flag or anything such, you are always welcome at my table.